Haven't done this in forever. Oh my goodness. Oh, you know, just being YouTube stars. Nope. And then that is the toddler. She's trying to help with production right now. That's interesting. Nope. Hey guys. Hey guys. No. Oh, that sounded wet. Guess we'll just wing it, huh? Hey everybody, my name is Kaylina. This is Jen, and we're new mamas. So we got some brand new little babies here. We're gonna be doing a new mom tag. Couldn't find one online, so I made this one up. If you would like to do it as well, feel free. We're just gonna jump into it. The first question is, what is the favorite part of your day? The parts that I get to sleep next to my baby.
With my newborn, I like that when it's just me and her awake. And so I'm nursing her and just cuddling and, you know, having that one-on-one time. Because with the toddler, we don't get a lot of that.
Yeah.
And then I also like when she's napping in her swing and I'm cuddling with the toddler. So.
Yeah. And I don't think we said, but my baby is almost 7 weeks and your kids are almost 2 and
3 months.
3 months, yeah.
And least favorite
part of your day.
Getting ready for bed.
Yeah.
Bedtime routine is crazy.
We haven't reached the whole routine part yet. Pretty much just following his lead still, when he wants to sleep, when he wants to feed. Bedtime as well, just because Cosmo seems to get a little more cranky for some reason. Like he'll nap throughout the day, like fine, and it's like at night he knows that I want to try to go to sleep too, and so he's like not happening. Any mom hacks?
Extra clothes for everyone in the diaper bag.
Extra clothes for everyone. You know what? That's funny is because I have an extra shirt in my diaper bag for me. Mom hack is something that's like personal to me and it may not work for you. I breastfeed my son and I pump, and I get the most milk when I'm nursing him on one side and pumping on the other. Like I get probably 10 times more milk doing it that way. It's changed since becoming a mom.
We were just talking about like how long it takes to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I texted you around noon saying like, you know, I wanted to come over and stuff, and I got here at 4. I think pretty much everything changes when you become a mom, and everybody always said that. I didn't really think that. I kind of thought people were exaggerating, honestly. I'm like, yeah, how different can it be? I'm still going to live my life and just have a baby on my head, but that's not the case at all. Just, yeah, leaving your house, your relationships are different, just what's important in life is a lot different. The most embarrassing moment that you've had as a mom? I don't think I've had any embarrassing moments, but I'm like not I'm not easily embarrassed, I guess. The most challenging thing about being a new mom?
I'd say with the first one, it's getting used to like having this tiny human dependent on you for everything. And with the second one, it's balancing keeping the older one, especially when they're close in age, keeping the older one from like hitting their sister. You know, like it's tough, like trying to balance paying attention.
Keep both alive at the same time. I think the most challenging thing for me is just morphing, like, because, okay, so being a new mom for me has kind of looked like me and Cosmo being at the house, you know, me and him, and his dad is there a lot of the times too, in our little safe cocoon, especially like with COVID and like just the times, you know, and newborn, not, you know, we're not going out and about all the time, and this is like the first place we've really been, and so me starting to kind of integrate normal life and having a newborn. So my first car rides with him was just like, oh my god, so much anxiety. First time having him around other people, I'm just like, oh my God, COVID is everywhere. Yeah, I think that's been the most challenging thing for me is just everything.
It's a big change to your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also worth it. Like, I don't mean to make it sound like it's like so hard. Like, I enjoy every moment. Every moment with my son is just the best. I wouldn't change it for anything. What was your labor like?
Well, they were different because one was born pre-pandemic and one was born during the pandemic.
That is really different.
With my oldest one, went into labor at like 3 a.m, got to the hospital, and then she was born at 3 p.m. So it was pretty quick. I slept through most of it with an epidural. And then, we had revolving door of people coming through, bringing gifts, bringing flowers, come in and say hi, meet the baby. And then with my second one, my husband and I were the only ones allowed and no visitors. Their grandparents live in Oklahoma and weren't able to come up until she was 3 months old. And this labor was fast and furious. It was 4 hours long.
Oh, wow.
And I got there, we went in through the emergency room because it was midnight, and we had to wear masks going in, and then once we were in the labor and delivery area, they told us we take our masks off. I had to get tested for COVID while in labor. I was having these major contractions and waiting for my epidural. They wouldn't let me have it first, and then I had to get the COVID test while having contractions. They're telling me to hold still.
How dare they?
Then afterwards, when it was just me and my husband, it was just me and my husband for that rest of the 24 hours.
Yeah.
And it was really peaceful.
A lot different than
Yeah,
visitors.
I was able to get a little more rest. He was getting more rest. We got a little more bonding time with the baby because it was just us.
Yeah.
And so it was very different.
Yeah, my labor was during COVID as well. So, I had to have the COVID test. Very painful. Well, not very painful, but I wouldn't say it was painful. It was just very uncomfortable. I would say it was painful. It was one of the worst parts, probably. And no visitors, and it was supposed to be one person the whole time, but they did make a little exception because my boyfriend was working nights, and so they let my mom stay with me during the first part. And then when he got off work, they let him switch, which was really nice of them. My active labor was 6 hours long, and my son was born at 8:14 a.m. His dad was there, held my leg, cut the cord. So my labor started the day before, and my water broke that morning. I didn't know that's what was happening. I was like, I don't know if I'm peeing myself. It was just a tiny bit. But then it happened again, and I went to the hospital and got tested. They tested the fluid, and yep, it was my water breaking. He was almost 3 weeks early, but came out totally healthy. 6 pounds, 12 ounces. I had an epidural, and I give it to the moms who go all natural because let me tell you, there was a point where I actually felt the contractions, and it was because I went from a 5 to completely ready in 30 minutes. Ouch. All right, so as you can see, some things have shifted.
So we answered the labor question, so we're on recovery.
My recovery was easy. It was probably the first few days where I had some discomfort with going to the bathroom or whatever, but after that I feel like I got good. I had very minimal bleeding. I didn't have, at first the doctor was like, oh, you don't need no stitches, while she was down there all up in my business and stuff. And then she's like, I'm gonna throw a couple in, for the fun of it. So yeah, by week 4 I was completely ready to go, if you know what I mean.
I was not. With my first one, my bleeding lasted 2 months. And with my second one, nobody told me that the cramps that you kind of get with the first one, didn't really bother me that much. With the second one, they're worse, and I felt like I was having contractions again.
And it was because it was your second baby?
Yeah, they say every child. I was told afterwards when I was.
Oh yeah, why they tell
things?
you these things after?
Yeah, I was told afterwards, and they're like, "Oh yeah, so every kid you have after is gonna get worse and worse."
Just FYI.
Just FYI. Yeah, I didn't know that.
Ashley's pregnant with her third. No, I'm just joking.
So and then like with the bleeding, this one like lasted 6 weeks and then stopped for a week and then started up again for another like 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, David's home.
Well, that's a quick shift. What names did you and your partner not agree on? Charles really liked the name Hugh. And we did both like it, but then like it sounded like you too much. Like every time Charles said Hugh, I thought he was saying you, and I'm like, I can't do that my whole life. It's not happening. And it wasn't so much names he brought up that I didn't like as much as it was like an association with somebody else. You know?
David did that a lot too.
Yeah. Another name my partner really liked, named after a singer, and I didn't mind the name, but I felt like I was almost naming my baby like Madonna or something.
I like the name Caitlin. He said it was too basic.
It is kind of no offense to all the Caitlins out there. All right. I love the name Seven. Sevyn. And of course, you know, it was just too much. Too out there. And I love the name August. And he was like, our baby's due in July and you're going to name him August. So I kind of like the little bit of different names. We went with Cosmo, and actually his dad thought of that name. Yeah, and it was just perfect.
And he came up with both our girls' names,
I
Freya
love
and Dakota.
Dakota and Freya, those are such pretty names. I think they're pretty and unique, but not like so different that people are going to be like, what'd you pack in your hospital bag? Because I felt like I brought a lot that I didn't need to bring.
I did the first time. I don't think I did the second time because both my sisters that had babies had really, really, really long labors, like 48 hours and 52 hours.
Oh God, we were lucky. 6 hours, 4 hours.
And so I kind of prepared for being there for like 3 days. And I did not need to.
Anything like out of the ordinary or like special or whatever unique that you brought in your bag?
I don't think so.
I ordered my own hospital gown and didn't wear it. I brought snacks, didn't eat them. I brought changes of clothes for myself. Brought makeup, didn't use it.
You brought makeup?
I brought makeup because, you know, I thought, I guess this is for if I, you know, I thought I had like a long labor or whatever. Like doing my makeup is very like soothing or relaxing for me, like a meditative type of deal.
Baby stuff you bought and don't use.
Is there anything that you maybe feel like that you felt like maybe you had to have and don't use at all? No. I bought well on my registry, I got what are those? The breastfeeding pillows or whatever, the round ones. Don't ever use it. This is kind of like for pregnancy, not so much afterwards, but pregnancy pillow, it was in the way more than I never used it really ever.
I heard great things. I wanted to buy one and I didn't because I couldn't bring myself to spend that money.
I should have gave you mine. What are your must-haves for your baby?
Swing for her.
The swing, yeah. Honestly, this thing, if you want to get a DockATot, go for it. If you want to get a cheaper version, Amazon has a lot. But I love this thing. Oh, he loves his wipe warmer. That was something that I thought we wouldn't need, and a lot of people say is a waste of money or something you don't need to buy. So we didn't get one at first, and then
I heard it's better for boys.
Yeah, he just seemed like really, I don't know, he cried a lot with like the coldness of the wipes, I think, at first, and then with the warmer, he cried less with his diaper changes. I don't know if it actually made a difference or he just got used to somebody changing his butt.
We have one. Well, we still have it, but the cord broke with Dakota, and so we didn't get a cord for Freya. We just haven't used it, and it hasn't made a difference at all.
Baby monitor for sure. That has given me so much peace of mind, being able to like have him on video, like while I'm getting ready or while I'm in the shower, or you know, I have my eyes on him. And a good breast pump. Best advice that you've received?
Yeah, 2 sisters who have kids before me, and so I just have them on speed dial and ask for advice. You know, as long as they are fed, burped, and changed, if they're still crying, it is okay to let them lay in their crib for a little bit so you can take a breather, because you just step away.
Yeah.
You know, you need a moment too.
The worst advice. So my best advice and worst advice is the same. Sleep when the baby sleeps.
Oh yeah.
It's the best advice because it is true. You have to get a nap in when your baby is sleeping. It's also the worst advice because you have a million other things to do. And then for me, for the first few weeks, it's just hard to sleep and not constantly be looking to see if my baby was breathing. But I think that just comes with like being a first-time mom, you know.
I still do that. I still check on it.
Yeah. Well, maybe that just never goes away. I heard some story about moms, like, you know, their kid's a teenager and they still peek in to make sure they're breathing.
Before I go to bed, like I'll go in the peek in the room and make sure I see the chest move open.
And the next part of that question is, what piece of advice would you pass on to a new mom or expecting mom? I would say that you're going to get a lot of advice from a lot of people, and honestly, trust your own gut. And you know, you are your baby's mom, and ultimately, you're going to do what's best for your baby and make those decisions. And you and your baby will learn as you go. Don't ever feel like you're like doing a bad job, because you're both learning and figuring out what works best for you.
Yeah, we're both figuring each other out, and
pregnancy brain lasts like 5 years after you have it.
Take other people's advice with a grain of salt.
Yeah. And take other people's comments with a grain of salt as well. How do you get you time?
I don't.
Do you have any part of your day where you feel like that's your, like you're saving grace or something?
When they go to bed. If they go to bed.
You get a few minutes.
Yeah, that's what I usually do. Homework, work, and if I clean.
Yeah. I would say my showers. I feel like I definitely, I mean, you get them in when you can. I have a rule of not going past 2 days. But that like 10 minutes in the shower is when I feel like I can like decompress and just like I said, I have him on video, so my anxiety is low with that, and just being able to feel the hot water, relax, and you know.
But with a toddler, you have somebody banging on the door and sliding their hand underneath them. No.
So it's a little bit different. Yeah.
So
birth control.
Yeah. With my first one, I opted to take the pill that was approved for while breastfeeding, and I got pregnant on it. So that's why my kids are so close together. So the second time, I got the depot shot, and I didn't know until afterwards that apparently it's the only birth control that is proven to make you gain weight when you have cold mood swings. So I'm going tomorrow to get an IUD instead.
Yeah, I'm horrified of the depot shot. I just heard so many horror stories.
I did too after I got it. Yeah. But I was like, well, we've got 3 months, so.
Yeah. I'm on the mini pill.
The one I got pregnant on?
Yeah. And you have to take it at a certain time, like within a 3-hour window every day, or it doesn't work. And if you miss that window, you're supposed to wait 2 days.
They say 3-hour window, but I changed my time by 30 minutes because my work schedule changed. So just putting that out there.
Yeah,
and my sister got pregnant on it too, so.
Scary.
How's your relationship changed since the baby, and how are baby duties split? Advice for couples. Would you like to participate?
Would you like to come into the video?
Well, as far as the relationships changed, I think we're pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
there's been some rough moments there, but obviously we have 2 kids pretty close in age, so we're still good.
Yeah. So, but at the same time we had children, we started the business, working regular jobs. So there's a lot of stress.
Graveyard shifts too.
Graveyard. Then we got this monkey rolling around the house attacking everything. But we just kind of split up and we go as we need to. Yeah, so that happens a lot. But we ended up just taking shifts. For the first year, it was kind of rough. We get like 3-4 hours of sleep and then switch because we both work graveyard, so daytime was kind of hard. But as our schedules have kind of changed, we've gotten used to it. Now we have another kid as well. We just kind of figured it out. Now it's pretty smooth. Where it's felt like it was going to be the end of the world. Now it's kind of like a machine that works pretty well. How are baby duties? I go to work a lot and she handles the baby.
Oh yeah, and what would be your piece of advice for couples?
My advice for couples, one is we were married for almost 10 years when we had our first kid. So we had a very solid relationship. So we already knew each other. We gave ourselves time to know each other. So when things got really rough, it was a team instead of two people that just met. And, I mean, that can work too, but it's a lot harder. If you're having a kid by choice, which a lot of you people on the internet aren't, get to know your partner and make it a thing that you do as a team instead of last resort to fix a broken relationship or something, because it's going to be super stressful. It'll either create diamonds or crush you into glass.
Yeah, baby, it doesn't fix it, a relationship. It just puts stress. You guys had a great foundation.
Yeah, we're the best couple on the internet, so.
So me and my partner, we've been together almost 2 years now, and we decided to have a baby after we were together for a year. There's definitely a lot of stress with a newborn and balancing that with family life. There's been times where we butt heads, but it's all about definitely just communicating and trying to figure out like why you guys are bumping heads. And every time that we find ourselves in that situation and get through it to the other side, we understand each other a little bit better. We're able to support each other better.
Keep having sex.
Yeah.
Hello guys, so as you can tell, it's a whole different day, whole different hair, whole different everything. When I was editing the video, I noticed I didn't really give advice for couples who are thinking about having a new baby or anything like that. We all said how hard it is, and I think that was a big thing because a lot of people may believe like new baby, rainbow sunshine, happily ever after, it's gonna fix everything for me and my partner, you know, if there's issues or whatever. And I think we all felt it was really important to echo that is not the case, that a baby is the most beautiful blessing, gift, all the positive terminology, things you could think of. Yes, that is all true. But it is also true that it adds a lot of stress on a relationship. So you want to have a solid foundation if you're planning your pregnancy. I highly recommend being in couples counseling, marriage counseling. I think everybody could benefit from counseling, individual, family, marriage, whatever it is. I think counseling is super beneficial. And me and my partner were in couples counseling before we had our baby. And it just gives you a safe place to process, maybe even say the wrong thing. You know, sometimes when you're having conversations at home and you're being misunderstood, or maybe you say something you don't mean and you're just trying to figure it out, you know, it could be taken a lot different versus having somebody there mediating and being like, oh, wait, I actually meant it like this. Or they could be like, I hear you saying this, is that what you really mean? Or this is what I think you mean, asking your partner how they interpret it, and then you could be like, oh no, that's not what I meant, or that's exactly what I meant. So I highly recommend counseling, and if you have any reservations about it, I say just give it a shot, you know, and you gotta find a counselor that you're comfortable with. So don't give up. If you find somebody you're not vibing with, don't give up on counseling. There's amazing counselors out there. And don't give up after 1, 2, 3 sessions, you know, give it some time. Give it 3 months or whatever, you know, invest that time into your relationship. So that is my biggest piece of advice. I briefly mentioned communication. Communication is so important. You can't get what you don't ask for. My partner is more than willing to help with the baby in every way possible. He is #1 dad through and through. That's the biggest thing that like attracted me to him in the beginning. You know, he has a daughter from a previous relationship, and just seeing how he interacts with her, how like everything is all about his daughter, or was all about his daughter, now daughter and son. But it was just like, wow, this guy, like his passion for being a dad and for his daughter, he's always thinking about her, always like, how can I make her happy? How can I be a better dad? Make sure that you're communicating with your partner, setting up shifts so you both can get some sleep. At first, it's really hard if you're breastfeeding. Mamas are gonna be kind of the primary person getting up at night, doing the feedings and all that, but dad can, you know, dad or your partner who is not breastfeeding can get up, go grab the baby for you. After you're done feeding, they can rock them back to sleep. It's whatever is dance. I don't even know if I'm in frame. It's whatever is going to work for you guys, and you'll figure it out along the way. If you are feeling frustrated, or you and your partner are bumping heads or whatever it is, it's just, again, communication, therapy. Those are, I can't stress that enough. And also knowing that everything is temporary. I mentioned a lot about me and my partner. If we do bump heads and we get through it, we're stronger, we understand each other better, yada, yada, yada. All that's so true. In the moment, it could seem so overwhelming and, oh, is it always going to be like this? And this and this and that. But it gets better. It gets easier. You guys all figure it out together. You'll have your ways with the baby. Your partner will have their ways with the baby. Maybe some first-time mamas just letting go a little bit, letting dad or other mom or whatever, letting them figure out their parenting style. It doesn't have to be do this, and this with the baby. The baby likes this. Don't do it that way. Do it this way. Don't do that. Of course, if they ask, or if it's, here and there, whatever, but let them figure it out just like you figured it out. Giving each other slack, being patient, being kind, and just making sure that you're both staying hydrated, getting sleep when you can, getting food in you, some nutrients in you. That's kind of how me and my partner has split up duties. Because I breastfeed, I get up with him at night, I do his feedings, I put him back to sleep, and he does all the household chores, he cooks all the meals, he brings me water, especially in those first few weeks where it's just like all you're doing is feeding, changing, back to back, and you're exhausted. My partner is making sure I'm drinking water, my partner is making sure I'm having home cooked meals, that our dogs are being taken care of, that our house is clean, that he's doing all this stuff. And honestly, oh my god, I couldn't have gotten through those first few weeks without him. But I just wanted to jump on here real quick and kind of like throw this in here, because I just think it's really important not to only give you the reality, but give you some like solid tips. And my little one is crying right now, so I'm gonna go feed him. Continue with me and Jen.
That is the new mama time. Thank you, Jennifer, for doing my first video with me. We will see you guys in our next video.